In last training also, we have covered multiple things. Now, we are left with three topics, some part of networking, data resiliency, and data protection domain, data protection. Okay, so we will start with data resiliency, then protection domain, and then we will cover this network part. So, any idea what is resiliency? What is data resiliency? Do you know, in simple word, what do we mean by resiliency?
No idea.
Resiliency, or we can say resilience, is something like how we can manage the things. Okay, here, if I'm talking about data resiliency, what are the ways that I can, what are the ways that we can save our data, protect our data, and encrypt, compress our data. Okay, so that is known as resilient. In simple word, data resiliency in Nutanix refers to platform ability to protect data against failures, integration of data, node failure, disk failure, even full cluster failure. Okay, just wanted to know one thing. Which feature work if the disk fail? Sandeep, we already gone through this. Any idea? Which factor? Replication or redundant factor? Which one? Am I audible, Sandeep?
I think is a redundant factor.
Exactly. And which will work in case of data failure? That is
Node failure,
rep.
na replication factor.
Exactly. That is replication factor. Correct. Absolutely correct. So I will not go in that because we already covered that replication factor and all those things. Why I said that it will take a little bit time because we already covered all those things in very brief. Here, Nutanix achieve this through several core features. And what are the breakdowns of how the data resiliency is ensured? First one is replication factor. We learned about it, RF1, RF2, RF3, correct? RF is
Yeah.
only used in some critical cases. So that's why RF2 and 3 is used. RF2 means it provide two copies of data. And where we can schedule it, we can log into the Prism Central storage. There we can configure in advanced setting, we can configure redundant and replication factor. Correct, Sandeep? We already gone through this, all this. So
Yeah.
RF2 means two copies of data stored. RF3 available in larger clusters, store three copy for higher redundancy. If one is lost, the system can read from the other. This is the same thing, not going in
Ha-
depth because
Actually, little bit interrupt you. Have we discussed means, RAID 5 like eraser coding? Have we discussed in earlier?
yes, yes, yes,
I'm
Sandeep.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
One second,
oh.
1 second. Everything is 1 second. We,
Actually, there are
I
some
understand
gaps are there. No? So I'm not
exactly.
remember that thing.
No, no, no. Let me see. When we are going through storage features, I told you three things. First is deduplication, correct? If you remember.
Yeah.
Second is ECX or eraser coding. Here it is. Here.
Okay. Okay.
And what was the third one? That one is compression here. So it
Okay.
is already done. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is the same thing if we have one host, if one drive is failed, it doesn't mean that full host will not work. It will work. Okay. We receive a P1 or P2 ticket or normal P3 ticket, whatever alert or whatever alerting is configured by us. So we will receive accordingly. Okay. Now, data stripping and distribution. Yes, this is the same thing. Nutanix distribute data across all nodes in the cluster to balance the load and reduce risk. Why it is happen? Ensure, let me tell you, if I have one feature, I have one node, I have two nodes, and I have three nodes. Okay, there is one feature. Suppose if I am saying DRS. Okay, what is the work of DRS?
Distributed resource scheduler
Yes.
in
Does it ever, have you ever seen that it put all the loads on a particular ESXi, or will it distribute the load accordingly? Or have you ever seen that my DRS is fully automatic? I'm not going to do anything. And what it is doing, it is only assigning and putting the load on ESXi host 1, apart from 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are less occupied. These are 30% or 40% occupied. But this one is 8, it is more. This one is 65% utilized. Have you ever seen that if a machine is 65% overutilized and DRS is still assigning machine on this? No. What is the work of DRS? It is the same, distributing the load equally, not on only one single machine. So this is the same thing. That's what done by that. Self-healing. Yes. Self-healing is what? As I briefed above. Suppose if on one my host, one disk is failed. How is the disk structured? 4 and 2. If one disk is failed, will the host become unresponsive or unreachable, or will it work as usual as it was previously? Sandeep, it will work,
come
correct?
again. Yeah.
What I'm saying, I am using a host which is having 4 disks. One disk is failed due to XYZ reason. Will the host work as normal, or will you face any issue? No?
Means, no, host is means
Exactly.
the cluster is working fine due to some
Exactly.
means resiliency and redundant factor is configured already. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
why there is no issue facing during the failure.
Exactly. So that's what here it is. What is that same self-healing? So see, upon detecting a failure, disk or not failure, what Nutanix does is it rebuilds raw data on healthy nodes, disk using remaining replicas, and trigger rebalancing to maintain the desired replication factor. Like it will distribute the load accordingly. It doesn't mean that if one thing is not working, one host is down, then my whole cluster will not work. It will work as usual. You will receive some set of incidents, P1, P2, P3, whatever is configured at your infra, you will receive the alerts like that. Fourth one is eraser coding. We already discussed about that. It is used for capacity efficiency. Okay, provide data protection with less storage overrated, and it works like putting multiple data, some data here, some data here, some data here. We can say it, what we can see it, parity, correct? Chunks, it provides the data in chunks also. Snapshots, yes. Like VMware, in Nutanix also, we use snapshots. Snapshot is a feature of protection domain in Nutanix, if we see. And snapshot is in VMware, it is simply right click on particular VM, snapshot, and take a snapshot. Okay. Snapshot means before doing any activity, before performing any activity, we are taking a snapshot. Okay, I have one query for you, Sandeep. May I ask if that is
Yeah,
fine with you?
please.
I have an activity where I am going to replace one memory. Okay, there
Uh-huh,
was some
uh-huh,
hardware fault.
uh-huh.
So In that case also, do I need to take the snapshot? Will that work or no?
No, no.
Exactly. Some people are confused. They say yes. That's why. So snapshot only work for virtual, not physical one. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Nutanix use redirect on write snapshot. Okay. And snapshot can be replicated to remote sites in case of disaster recovery. Data protection policies. Here we have data protection policies also. First one,
Sorry to interrupt you. लेकिन actually क्या है कि if suppose कि there is some data protection mechanism in available in Nutanix, VMware में तो नहीं है, ठीक है अभी कि आप डेटा का बैकअप you have to means able to take the backup of the virtual machine. So there, I guess there is a option to take the backup of the virtual machine in the help of data protection policy,
correct.
where we
A
have
protection domain.
yeah, protection domain where we configure
Correct.
the means we configured the protection domain. So I guess snapshot is happen after the snap. Means it's
Exactly. One second.
basically
One second.
how it's work. Is it snapshot based backup
Yes.
every
1 second.
time?
Allow me a moment. Can I finish these three topics and then I can see the next topic is data protection. We have all the things mentioned here, whatever you are
Okay,
asking.
okay,
If you
okay.
see here, you see?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so let me finish that, then we can come on that. Here it is also showing integration with backup also. Everything is here. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. So, so like here in data protection, I mentioned that replication. First one, sync replication, near sync replication, metro availability. Okay. So these are the things that are used for data protection policies. Here, sync, near sync replication, metro availability. Metro availability is synchronization replication between two sites. And last one is protection domains. Protection domain we will cover in just after two topics. Next is cluster management and alerting. So how can we say that our data is perfect and data resiliency is everything is fine and we if there is any alert we are working on it proactively. Suppose you are a customer, you are asking your IT engineers what you guys are doing, how you guys are protecting my infra. What you will say? We only work when we receive alerts or we are working proactively. Like how proactively you are working. You are a Nutanix admin. Whatever you are doing, suppose you are a Nutanix admin. When you log into the shift, what you do? I just assess all my infra. How? What are the important things I said you need to
Maybe
check? You need to log into your Prism Central and Prism element, correct? You need to check. There is an option of data resiliency. If you remember, or do you want me to show you, Sandeep? Sandeep,
sorry. Yeah, please.
do you want me to show you that thing, data resiliency, or you know where it is?
No, I don't know where it is.
That's not a right thing. You know, you can say I
Actually,
forget about that. One
yeah,
second.
yeah.
One second, no problem.
In that time, I
Here,
aggressively do the things, but nowadays,
see,
yeah,
no, see here. You remember I told you this is the
yeah,
important thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When I was covering, I said na, when
Yeah, yeah.
it is not in green, it is in orange, it's your responsibility to check it. And if it is in red, it means there is something major in your infra that you need to take action immediately. Alerts are something that you can ignore also. I'm not saying that you can ignore all the alerts, but as I told you multiple times, suppose your customer infra is only using one DNS server. Okay, but in Nutanix, it is recommended to have two DNS. So every time when you run the NCC or when you run the health check alert report, you will get a alert for DNS name server configuration. But you can ignore, as I said, why you can ignore? Because you know that my infra is having only one DNS and I already highlighted this to a customer. and customer already accepted that as a risk, correct? You know, risk acceptance and all those things in infra,
Yeah, yeah,
Sandeep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, like, just giving you one more example to brief on that. Suppose you know that VMware support is going to expire. VMware 7 support is going to expire in October, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This year, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now you are using VMware 7.0.3, and your customer said, Sandeep, please go ahead and upgrade my infra. So you said, okay, I will do it. Now you are planning for vCenter upgrade. So first thing is that we will check the prerequisites. You check the prerequisites and found that the hardware that is hosting the vCenter and ESXi infra, that is only compatible with version 7.0.3. It is not compatible with version 8. In that case, what you will do? First, you will update your management and your customer also, that this is the reason we will not be able to upgrade, and this is a risk. Please accept it. Either please procure a new hardware and then we can do the upgrade, or please accept the risk. In that case, it's not on you. Nobody will blame you if there is something major happen, because you have the risk accepted by the customer that yes, Sandeep proactively updated us and we know the risk. We do not have the budget. That's why we accepted the risk that we will continue on the old hardware and we will not upgrade the ESXi and vCenter version. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is data resiliency. So yeah. So in cluster monitoring, Nutanix provide real-time monitoring of cluster health. I just show you the screen. Correct? There you can see the heart. One second, let me go there again. Here. See, you can see what are the impacted cluster, impacted services, cluster storage, everything you can performance, cluster, task, everything you can see from here. So the cluster will provide you the health usage and storage thing. So you can, yeah, here, cluster. Proactively alert, notify administration of risk to data resiliency. Yes, second thing is that whatever is that,
Mm.
we can receive the alerts so that we can work on those alerts and fix the errors that are in our infra. Next is resiliency factor, and this is the same n+1 node failures. Okay, based on the number of node failures, the cluster can tolerate n+1 can survive one node failure, n+2 it can survive two node failure. This is data resiliency. In this way, we can manage, monitor, and secure our data. Okay, now coming to your next topic, that is data protection. Data protection, we can say it as protection domain also. So protection domain in Nutanix ensure that your data is safe, correct, available, and recoverable from failures, disaster, or malicious threats. Okay, forget about data protection. If I ask, you are working as a VMware admin, what option is there for VMware? In Nutanix, we have data protection. What option we have for VMware?
VMware basically in earlier VMware has a solution where the VDP is there.
SRM also?
SRM also, but VDP is also there for the means some backup and replication the things. We are a
Hmm.
VDP. V replication appliance and VMware data protection. There are two appliance where the means you have to take the backup as well as you have to replicate the virtual machine.
Okay, I never worked on that. What was that?
VDP.
VD. VMware data protection.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you configured it? How it was done?
Yeah. It's a normal appliance where you basically the backend of the VDP is AVMR.
But it doesn't come with a latest
But
recent product.
yeah, now either last
Mm.
version is supported in 6.7 only.
Exactly. Correct. Okay. So it ensure that your data is safe, available, and recoverable from failures. Nutanix provide a comprehensive set of native and integrated features for data protection across VMs, files, volumes, and applications. So what are the features that are used by data protection? First one is snapshots. Point-to-point copies of VMs. Snapshots. I think I already briefed about snapshots in VMware, correct? And you know it
VM,
very well.
yeah, I know the
So
VMware
coming
technology,
to,
but how the Nutanix snapshot work, I don't.
no, it is the same thing. It's not something different. You can just right click and take a snapshot of it. Snapshot is point in time copy of VMs or volume. Like, uh, suppose you are working on a upgrade. No, not upgrade. Suppose you are doing some patching activity, correct? And before
Uh-huh.
that, what you have done, you have taken a snapshot of your particular virtual machine. And this is the best practice that we are doing also, correct? And in patching, you face some issue and your machine got crashed. Okay.
Uh-huh.
In that case, what you do? Either you can revert the snapshot or either you can recover your VM from your backup solution, correct?
Yes.
So snapshot is the same thing. Have a snapshot option in you have a snapshot option in your Nutanix technology also. It use the redirect on write mechanism for performance efficiency. It is ideal for backup, test, or rollback purposes. There are two types of snapshots. First is local, second is remote, as the name suppose. Local snapshot within the same cluster and remote snapshot to a secondary Nutanix cluster.
But I guess there is a difference in the snapshot where मीन्स अगर आप लोकल स्नैपशॉट रिमोट स्नैपशॉट की बात कर रहे हैं तो देर बेसिकली कंप्लीट बैकअप ऑफ द डेटाबेस if you have an like one virtual machine have an 2 3 disk are there so when you take the snapshot so VMware have an own technology where VMSD file is created, three file is created behind the when we're taking the snapshot.
Mm.
Am I right?
Yes, yes,
Is
yes.
is a VMSD or VM? There are three file I don't. It's VMSN and VM three file. Just a minute. We would do the name. Hold on. Snapshot file. The three file is a Delta VMDK and VMSN and
Mhm.
VMSD.
SD, correct.
Yeah, three files are there. But when you take the snapshot, na, VM Delta is created. If you are talking about the remote snapshot, where the system, all the means all together cluster are different. So how to system is work? I guess there is some uh, clone process in backend or whatever. There is some process, I guess. If you are talking about the remote snapshot.
Mhm.
अगर आप रिमोट स्नैपशॉट की बात करें तो इसमें कुछ ये नॉर्मल काम नहीं करेगा आई गेस तो आप एक बार इसको प्लीज देख लीजिए कैसे करेगा.
One second. Let me tell you. This remote snapshot, you just wanted to know how this work, correct?
या या एंड ऑल्सो जब हम लोकल स्नैपशॉट लेते हैं तो VMware में हमारे पास जैसे फाइल्स बनता है वैसे हमारे पास इसमें कौन सा फाइल बनता है.
No, I think इसमें in this
एक्रोपोलिस
it should be no, it's Acropolis. It should be like vdisk
कौन सा
underscore
डिस्क?
id vdisk underscore id.
ओके, क्योंकि
Only
मैंने ये
this, you
ये
know that
ये
this is we learned about one service PITOS. If you remember PITHOS,
हाँ,
you remember?
या
We this is for the same thing. So one second. Allow me one moment, please. One moment. So it should be like here. See, vdisk. So it should be
बट
like
VDIS configuration manager because is responsible for VDIS, DFS file, OS file
hmm.
configuration that run every node is built top of the center.
So in short, we can say how can I say? PITOS. We can say the AOS vdisk configuration manager. It is here.
Okay.
So here it should be like this, vdisk hyphen id. It's not that it is creating n number of disk files like VMware, correct? But yes, I will take a note of it, how the remote snapshot work on it. Okay,
So, yeah.
because I have taken only local snapshot within the same cluster, not on remote snapshot.
But actually your infra is basically from the built on ESXi. Na.
That's fine,
The
but you can see
but
you can also see a option to take a local snapshot from Prism also, no? If I'm not going to take a snapshot from VMware, I can either take it from Nutanix also.
yeah, you can take the snapshot on Nutanix as well, but the Nutanix is called the means vSphere API ना basically
Yes,
तो उसके
yes,
API
it will work
उसके
like same VMware.
सेम VMware उसी के API से
Exactly,
कॉल करके वो बैकएंड वो जैसा VMware करता है वैसा ही करेगा ठीक है
exactly,
ब, ब,
yes, exactly,
या
exactly.
या
Because
बट
we are
लेकिन
using vSphere, but
या
in
लेकिन
AOS, it is
या
different case.
या तो ये
Let me
उसमें
take a
क्या
note
होता
of this remote
है या
snapshot. Yeah? One
दोनों एक
second.
बार देख लीजिएगा लोकल लोकल में भी क्या है ना कि जैसे तो उसमें स्नैपशॉट बनता है तो क्या फाइल होती है और क्या स्नैपशॉट ऐसे ही बिहेव ऐसे ही करता है जैसे VMware में करता है VMware में जब स्नैपशॉट बनता है तो क्या होता है ओरिजिनल फाइल वो आपका रीडिंग मोड में चला जाता है
ओरिजिनल फाइल आपकी लॉक हो जाती